Welcome to the Survivor to Thriver show with your happiness expert, Samya Bano. Do you feel stuck, silent, and stressed all the time? Is something hurting your heart and soul? Are you burning yourself out? Then you're in the right place, because this is the podcast people from all over the world join in to learn exactly how to stop suffering and start living with inner peace and joy. Let's get started. I left off last episode at what I think is a very uplifting place and a hopeful place, right? Because I was talking to you about the key to achieving control over our emotions, over our own well-being, is to recognize that we do not need anything outside of us in order to experience inner peace and joy and happiness, contentment, fulfillment in our life. The source of all these experiences is within us. And while external stimulation can trigger these responses, can stimulate our internal source to generate these responses, we do not need those external stimuli in order to generate these responses from within us. But we have to know how to generate the responses that we want from this internal source at will. We have to know how to do it. And 99% of us don't know how to do it. But it's just a matter of, okay, we just don't know. And that is a problem that is easily fixed, that is easily addressed. Because if the problem is, I just don't know how to do something, the solution is simple. Just go learn how to do it. And then you know. And then you can implement the information and experience the results. So whenever you realize that the source of your problem or challenge is a lack of information on how to get something done, that is like a time to be really happy. It's like, yay! Because that is a great problem, a great challenge to work on. Because you get to learn something new. Right? And once you learn it, yes, you've solved the challenge, you've solved the problem. Voila, you're on your way. And once you have that knowledge, no one can take it away from you. So it's like transformation for life. See? And it's like up to you, of course, to apply it or not. But it's like if it was something that you truly desired, why wouldn't you apply it? Well, okay, all right. I know. There's things that can come in your way of application. But okay, we'll address those challenges later. Because it's true that there are so many times we want something in our life, you realize the reason we don't have it is because we don't have the necessary information. So we go, and we'll get our books, attend our trainings, do something like listen to this podcast, and we feel inspired, we feel enlightened. But then nothing happens because we don't implement the information in our life. So we don't experience the transformation. We don't, did we talk about this before? I think we might have talked about this in one of the previous episodes. That when you get the information that you need, you see, it's like you were in a dark room and suddenly somebody threw open the windows and a flood of light pours in. And in that instance, your awareness changes. Your awareness of what's possible, what's around you, changes. And that we call transformational awareness. And it can be that quick, that instantaneous. But the transformational process, that takes time. Okay, there's a learning curve involved, and that learning curve involves struggle and a willingness on your part to engage in that struggle. And a lot of things can happen because of which we may decide not to engage in the struggle. So that challenge is true. It does exist. But hey, okay, all right, look, that's the next step challenge anyway. Right now we're talking about the challenge of, okay, look, I still need that window to be thrown open so I can have the transformational awareness. See, everything has to begin with awareness. If you don't even have an awareness of what the problem is, what the solutions are, you're stuck. You cannot move ahead. So transformational awareness, and how do you achieve transformational awareness, is the first step, the first challenge. So let's stay focused on that for right now. Okay, so now we've been talking, and I've told you, okay, this is very much possible that you can learn how to generate any emotional response that you want from your internal source at will, which means regardless of your circumstances, you can choose to feel happy, choose to feel at peace, choose to feel contentment, choose to feel fulfillment in your life, if you know how to do it. So, next thing is, okay, all right, let's learn. Okay, so now, of course, there's a lot that goes into this. There are a lot of different moving parts that are involved because, hey, learning how to control your mental, emotional well-being, wow, I mean, that can be one of the biggest challenges in our life, one of the biggest lessons for us to learn, because there are just so many different components, so many moving parts to it, because there are so many different things that have an impact on our mental, emotional experiences. Right? So we have to learn how to manage all of those different moving parts. So I hope you were able to attend my Survivor to Thriver training, my Survivor to Thriver formula training, where I gave you the big picture perspective on what it really takes to make this happen for you. By the way, if you missed that training, it's still not too late. It's still not too late, because guess what? I gave the training and I'm still here and you can still access me. So just go on my website at www.academyofthriving.com. Go to our contact us page and set up a phone call with me or shoot me an email and ask me about how you can access that training even now. Okay, so you can still access that training and get that big picture perspective, but hey, life doesn't end with that training. We're going to continue to engage in lots of cool learning with this podcast. So there is this really, really cool quote. It's a Chinese saying, and the only reason I'm not telling you who said it, even though I know who said it, is because I'm afraid of mispronouncing the name, and I do not want to be disrespectful and mess up this person's name. And it's oh gosh, no, I just don't want to do that. So I'm just going to mention what I can pronounce and tell you that this is a Chinese person, actually a philosopher, one of the biggest philosophers, and even for some people, he's even a religious figure. And he said, if you correct your mind, the rest of your life will fall into place. If you correct your mind, the rest of your life will fall into place. Wow. And this person, okay, this is like ancient wisdom, but wow. You see, because it's connected to the truth, to the reality of how this world works, how we function at a very core human level. It's a teaching that still that's still true, that still applies, and will continue to be true and continue to apply to us. And in fact, now there is even so much research in modern science that shows that this is so true. For example, let me talk to you about this idea in the context of modern research. So in research in psychology, especially in the area of positive psychology, they have established, it's very well established now, this causal chain. So I'll just give you the chain, and then we'll go more into how it works and stuff. So it starts with, at one end of the chain, the first link is your beliefs. Your beliefs have a causal impact on what you think. So your beliefs actually cause and determine your thoughts. So it's belief, link number one. Link number two in the chain is your thoughts. Your thoughts generate your emotions. So how you feel. Okay? So your thoughts have a causal impact on your emotions. So emotions is the third link in the chain. From emotions, your emotions have a causal impact on your behavior. Your emotions drive your behavioral responses. Your emotions determine how you're going to act. Okay, so it's like beliefs, thoughts, feelings, actions. And we'll take it even one step further. So the actions that you take produce your results, right? Okay, so it's beliefs, thoughts, feelings, actions, results. Now, here is a piece of good news, or at least I think this is good news, that this causal chain doesn't just move one way. You can actually come back the other way in it in terms of what causes what. So the behavior that you have can stimulate your feelings in a causal kind of way. The feelings that you have can have an impact on the thoughts that you have, and the thoughts that you have can change your beliefs. This is good news because it gives us more options when it comes to, okay, how do I create change in my life? How do I create change in my results and so forth? See, because, okay, we know that on the one end of the chain, we have our beliefs. And what can you do to change your beliefs? You see, if the chain only worked one way, my gosh, it's like, what's whoa, you'd be completely stuck. Good news is, hey, your thoughts can change your beliefs. It's not just your beliefs that produce your thoughts. Your thoughts can actually change your beliefs. So, insofar as you can learn to control your thoughts or learn to think different thoughts that you choose to think rather than just thinking whatever pops up into your mind as a result of your beliefs, if you can learn how to choose in a conscious way what you are thinking, you can change your beliefs. Once your belief has changed, then it'll start to produce naturally and more easily the kinds of thoughts that you wanted to be thinking in the first place. Right? And the same thing is true at other levels of the chain as well. So let's say you're feeling really, really crappy. So that's your emotions, right? If you want to change your emotions, what are the two links that are directly connected to your emotions? Well, on the one side, it's your thoughts, and on the other side, it's your behavior. So if you want to change your emotional experience, you actually have two options. You can either change your behavior to stimulate a different kind of emotional reaction, or you can change your thinking to stimulate a different kind of emotional reaction. That's good news. Options. You have options. Yes, I love options, so I think this is really good news. Hey, I'm looking at the time, and I can see for me to go any more meaningful way, any deeper with this idea, it'll take us a whole lot more time. So let me go ahead and wrap up right here this episode, and we'll continue talking about all of this, of course, in future episodes. So stay tuned, and remember, if you did miss my Survivor to Thriver formula training, all is not lost. You can still connect with me by going on my website at www.academyofthriving.com. Click on the Contact Us page and email me or call me. You'll be able to set up a phone call and ask me about how you can access that training now. All right. So with that, I'm going to leave you for right now. And until we connect again, I wish you lots of peace and joy.